You're live. Say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
I'm going to share this real fast.
What are you sharing? Is this?
It's not. I don't see it on Facebook here.
I can never tell how many people are on watching us.
What I do is I just do it from my phone. I just have it up next to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't see it.
Is it worth talking yet, or should we just shut the fuck up?
I don't even see it. The new year.
Really? I didn't mean
Yeah.
it look good. I just mean your camera shot looks good.
Oh.
Get over
yourself. Never mind.
Looks sexy. You got sexy Easus right above you. You can't touch
Holy
that.
shit, that does look good.
Yeah.
Oh,
good.
Let me turn the volume down though.
It
does look good. I set it up on a box. I set up on a box this time to try to raise it up a little bit and also angle it that way so you can see the water.
Is anyone on there with you?
Yeah, 15 people. Oh,
it's really nice in Michigan. If people are watching, bless them.
I know.
They're pretty pathetic if they're watching right now. Yeah, what is it? Well, we should welcome everybody to the show. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm here. Easus is here. Shalom, Big E. Trav is here. I dig your fancy new haircut. You're trying to get away from the Easus comparison, aren't you?
You know what? It's actually more plume-like now if I did it right. It's like short on the sides. I could really do a contest, yeah.
How did you get a haircut?
Just a little different.
No, how?
Magic.
Yeah.
Magic?
I'm going Mohawk today.
Where did
the haircut
you go?
The haircut fairy just cut it when I woke up like this. It was great.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
Easus, I'm going Mohawk later today.
Yeah, but like Travis's hair looks like he got it cut from a professional, and I don't know how that's possible.
Well, Jennifer does have her cosmetology license still and can cut hair, so maybe that's it.
There you go.
Okay.
Or not.
Well, I'd say I'm jealous. I can
Sounds
see
like or not.
But blue skies behind you, Easus on the lake there. It looks beautiful. You've got some serious sun going. I thought I was getting all the sun in Arizona. But yeah, you guys look good, and so the weather's behaving in Detroit.
Well, I've been playing a lot of tennis, and I've been helping my dad with a lot of yard work too recently. So
yeah, well, that's good. It's paying off. It's going to get warmer and warmer for you guys. It's like 95 here. I already got my walk out of the way. Me and Shebsby, I took Shelby out for a walks, got that going, and started reading the news. A lot going on in the world. Some things
there is.
Well, not really, but there's a few items in the news that make me go, all right, people are starting to lose interest in this COVID-19 thing. They're starting to bitch about other shit that, we haven't seen people bitching about lately, and we'll get to some of that. I did want to thank you guys for being here available. I know it's 3 hours later there, and you guys got shit going on tonight, so thank you guys for being here. Members area, thank you guys so much for continuing to be members and using the Amazon link. Just because if you guys are like us, everyone's using the shit out of Amazon. So don't stop using the Detroitcast link. Just go to DetroitCast.com, click on the Amazon link, and shop away like normal. Also, our friends at MyPillow, they got literally buy one, get one free on everything, including the Giza sheets. So, yeah, we got to get Mike on here soon. Talk about his book since we got that, and we'll do that. But yeah, go there. Just use the promo code TDC and whatnot. Now, on to other stuff. U.S. women's soccer team. E, you a big fan? I know you're a big fan.
Sure. No, not really. But I mean, not because I don't care. I just don't. Whatever.
Yeah.
They're good. I know they're very good.
Yeah, you and I got in some fights because you thought they deserved a parade and stuff when they won the.
I do still think that. Right.
Did they ever get one? Did they end up getting their stupid parade?
I don't know, but I don't think they got the ticker tape one down brought down New York, which I think they should have gotten. But
yeah. Do you think the nurses should get the ticker tape parade like de Blasio has promised in New York for all the nurses and first responders and doctors once this COVID thing is over?
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, why not? I mean, dude, I can't believe doing that job right now. That'd be terrible.
Yeah.
God bless them.
Well, you're one that will go to those. You went to the Cubs World Series, rally, and you're not even a Cubs fan. You've gone to all the Red Wings ones and Tigers ones and all that, which makes sense. You're a local guy. Would you go to a ticker tape parade in New York for nurses?
Here's the thing. Would I go?
The
I
answer
think it'd be
is
incredible.
No, you wouldn't. No.
No, I think it would. Yes, no, that's not true. I think that'd be an incredible moment. Like, if you think about it, if we got to some point where we felt like coronavirus is over and you could sit in a group of 500,000, a million people in New York and watch some nurses walk down there and thank them for all that shit, I would do it. The problem is I don't think there's going to be that moment. This isn't going to have a green flag, go, go, go moment. So, like, if they do it what are they going to do it in 2 years from now? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, I would go if I felt like I could go. I think that'd be kind of cool, man.
Well, I'm going to hold you to that. When they have their parade, their ticker tape parade in New York City, I'm going to make you go there and cheer. I mean, you can paint your face. I don't know what you do. You can wear a nurse outfit or something. I
can do red crosses or something.
Red crosses and a skimpy, sexy Halloween nurse costume.
Sure.
And go and hang out and cheer them all on. I mean, will you have favorite nurses for? Will you be like, oh, there's my nurse coming? You know, like when Yzerman comes along with the cup. Will you have favorite nurses? Like, hope your nurse is there.
I mean, I won't. But I mean, what if the nurses could have signed face masks and they could throw them out to us and stuff, and I could put it in my trophy room?
Would you hang on to that signed mask?
I'm going to hang on to my stimulus check. I thought I was going to get it direct deposit, but because of how my taxes worked last year, I don't. So I got an actual check, and I'm like, this is kind of cool to have this check. Like,
really?
5 years from now, 5 years from now, I'll be able to look at this thing and be like, remember that crazy time when I got $1,200 for no reason?
It'll probably still be going on in 5 years. How much was your stimulus check?
$1,200.
Did it give you $1,200?
Yeah.
Really?
It's already in my bank account right now.
Yeah? So you were able to cash it, keep the stub?
Yeah, because you just do it. I just did it through, the online check cash or check depositing or whatever. So I think that's kind of cool to have Donald Trump's name on there.
Really? Next time, pull it out. Next time we do a show, I want to see it. I didn't get one, so it's got like the state and the federal.
I don't know how well that will play on the camera.
Oh yeah, it's like a tax.
We can see it a little lower.
Yeah, a little
here.
Yep, right there. You got it. Awesome.
Oh, that's funny.
It came with a letter, right?
Mine didn't come with a letter, but I was at my sister's yesterday night, and they both got a letter.
Wait, you're not your sisters, are you?
Well, technically you are. Well, I don't know what the rules are, but they've been at home. They've been working from home for a month now, and the only time they leave the house is once every 2 weeks. They've gone grocery shopping, so I'm felt pretty safe.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how we got here, but back to the U.S. women's soccer team dealt a little bit of a blow today, and they're bitching about pay. Of course, they're always bitching about something. But yeah, the equal pay lawsuit that they had was just thrown in court. Okay, Judge Gary Klossner, of course, I'm sure he's a white guy too, white male judge, from the United States District Court of the Central District of California, ruled in favor of U.S. Soccer, dismissed the claims they were underpaid in comparison with the men's national team. The women's team has been paid more on both a cumulative and an average per game basis than the men's team over the class period. The judge, however, also ruled that players claim that they do not get equal treatment, like travel, hotel, food per diem, all that kind of stuff. That lawsuit can proceed. He cited the undisputed fact that from 2015 to 2019, the women's team averaged $220,747 per game in total payments for a total of $24.5 million for a season. The men's team averaged $212,000 for a total of $18.5 million for a season. The ladies plan to appeal. Molly Levinson said, she tweeted out, "We are shocked and disappointed with today's decision, but we will not give up our hard work for equal pay. We are confident in our case and steadfast in our commitment.
Apologies for the interruption.
Yeah.
How much revenue did they bring in?
Good question. Well, depends. If you're looking at the last few years between their last win of a national title, I think 2015 or, international title, they've brought in like a fraction more than the guys.
Okay.
But there's a lot of things, and I'll get into it because it gets a little weird. Some of this stuff is not just like public domain, so it's hard to piece together, but people have tried to piece together how much money is being generated versus how much is being made. And when you start dealing with international stuff versus U.S. soccer, the discrepancies are in there. And so I don't know how far the ladies are going to get with this, but they're acting like they are civil rights martyrs for this cause. So their commitment to ensuring that girls and women will not be valued as lesser just because of their gender. I just don't believe that's what's going on, that you're a woman. Like Serena Williams makes more in tennis than most guys do. She's a chick, but the money's there. We have learned that there are tremendous obstacles to change. We know that it takes bravery and courage and perseverance to stand up to them. We will appeal and press on. Words cannot express our gratitude to all those who support us. They were seeking $66 million on an Equal Pay Act. Megan Rapinoe appeared with Joe Biden in a live stream event, tweeted, "We will never stop fighting for equality." What about sex assault victims? Does Megan Rapinoe not care about those anymore because she's arm in arm with someone who's in the thick of it right now? And then just a month ago, the U.S. soccer president, Carlos Cordeiro, resigned. He had to resign over language used in a court filing, suggesting that women possess less ability than men when it comes to soccer. But they do. Sorry.
Not in America.
Well, okay.
Men didn't even qualify for a World Cup last time.
Yeah, no, I know. They haven't won. The best they've done is third place in 1930. So, yes, that's true, E. But what do you think would happen if the men's U.S. team played the women's U.S. team? Would it be 100-0 by halftime?
I mean, it would dominate, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but
it would be a fucking slaughter. So, anyways, I was trying to look up though, because if they're getting fucked, I understand their point because they have won 4 world titles. They're champions, and to me, it's like, well, go make your money. Doing chapstick commercials and sporting creams and all the things that you can get endorsements, Gatorade. You're seeing them on magazine covers and they're making money for that stuff. But,
right.
When you get Congress involved and 35 senators signing a petition, it's like, okay, we're bringing politics into this now. They're going to fight for these women getting equal pay. Senator Elizabeth Warren signed a letter of her support. The women's team is the number one in the world and contributes higher revenues for U.S. soccer than the men's team, but they're still paid a fraction of what the men earn. Women deserve equal pay for equal or better work in offices, factories, and on the soccer field. But it's like everything else. There's a gray area. It's not quite as cut and dry as that. If you're just going on titles like the Rough Riders of the Canadian Football League, I believe they can win as many Grey Cups in the world as they want. They're not going to get paid like the Cleveland Browns. Why not?
Because this is a World Cup on a world stage.
I'm telling you, but a league like that, just doesn't mean anything. If the rest of the world's competition does not generate the interest that the men's league does, there's more money coming in for it. So they filed this on International Women's Day, and they alleged that the U.S. soccer pays the women less, gives them unequal playing conditions, doesn't promote their games as much. The women's team has won 4 World Cup titles. The men's team hasn't won any. They point that out. And they say that both teams, if they won 20 friendly matches in a year, the women could earn a maximum of just about $100,000 a year. The men would earn about $263,000. In this scenario, the women's team would earn 38% less than what the men do. Does the women's team bring in more revenue? So, in the 8 FIFA World Cup tournaments held on the women's side, the U.S. women's team has won 4 and came in second or third place in all the others. By contrast, there have been 21 FIFA World Cup men's tournaments. The U.S. men's team didn't qualify for half of them and only placed as high as third once, like I said, in 1930. The U.S. women's soccer game earned more than the men's game in total during the 3 years after they won the cup in 2015, specifically from 16 to 18. They brought in $50.8 million in revenue. The men's team brought in $49.9 million, a difference of less than 2% in the women's favor. 2016 was actually the only year in which the women's team generated more revenue from games, $24 million compared to $22 million for the men. Both had the same in 2018 or 2017, and in 2018, the men beat the women 13-12 as far as millions generated. But player compensation, so they're less public about some of this stuff. Earnings for both men and women are governed by collective bargaining agreements with a player's eventual earnings affected by the number of games played and whether the team wins or loses. The women's team said if each team were to win 20, female players would earn $99,000 a year, the men a lot more. However, this calculation was made under the old collective bargaining agreement. There is a new one, and the difference in this one is women have guaranteed money in this. The men don't. The men make bonuses. So if both squads lost all 20 friendlies, they would make the same amount of money. They'd make $100,000 a year. PolitiFact was able to obtain a copy of the current bargaining agreement. Runs through 2021. And that's where they get the numbers that I'm talking about. So, I don't know, base salary of $100,000. The big difference, though, is right here in the World Cup compensation. That's where most of the money is. The most unbalanced element is the money the players get for playing in the World Cup. It's not directly, this is not directly at issue in the suit because it's ultimately about the international governing body, not U.S. soccer. The men's leagues around the world, more money flows into them. For 2018 Men's World Cup, the prize money was $400 million compared to $30 million for the women in 2019. So if that's the difference you're talking about in money coming in, you can imagine how the compensation is doled out. So given that difference, it's essentially guaranteed the women would end up with far less prize money, even though the women won the championship. FIFA announced that the prize money next time in Qatar would be $440 million for the men, 60 for the women. So they doubled it for the women, but they also brought it up for the men as well. So I don't know. It's a weird one because it was easy to bitch about this, or take a side when it was women's hockey. And it was like, we all went, oh shit, I didn't know the women had a hockey league.
Right.
But the U.S. women's soccer team has been so successful that it makes it a lot easier to go, yeah, they deserve more.
I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't really know how things break down. So I did, in reality, do they deserve as much as the men? Probably not. But I don't know. It's a tricky situation because they're good. If they sucked, it'd be a lot easier just to discount it in reality. But they're actually good. And when you have a men's team who didn't even qualify for the World Cup last time around, it just makes it more tricky, I guess.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind hearing from women on this. If they want to email it to detroitcast.com. Let us know how you feel. It sounds like their collective bargaining agreement, because it's a U.S. soccer. It's U.S. soccer. It's not like the NFL, who has their own collective bargaining agreement. The NBA has their own. They're done together. So the men's and women's, when you talk about their TV deals or the contract structures in a lot of instances, they're sold together. It's sold as a package. So it's hard for what's coming in for what, because they kind of. So maybe the answer is, okay, come up with your separate men's and women's and come up with your own collective bargaining agreement. At least you'd have leverage then, I think, for the women to go, no, we're not playing in this year's tournament if you don't take care of us. We know we're the best. Jesus. What is it?
Hurricane.
You got a hurricane coming through, E?
I mean, this place is pretty windy around here. I think how the house structure works too. There's I don't know. It just seems like I'm in this back porch.
Yeah, we just
on this back porch. It gets pretty windy.
Yeah.
Shows outside are always fun. The variables.
Oh, it's very nice.
It's kind of the beauty, though, isn't it, Trav, of the podcast? It's like, dude, all these people in their basement, all of a sudden something just falls over and crashes. Or
See, you have a hack engineer because I'm not even worried about it. A real engineer be freaking out right now. Like, what is he doing outside? I can't control this.
I think
I like it
different
better.
circumstances where it's something
I
cool
do too.
to do.
I do too.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'd be one thing if this was literally the show 5 days a week and we were doing it and it's just like, dude, we need to actually get you in a real studio. But for something that's way more, a little different than we're used to, I think that it's kind of cool.
To me, it's like back in the day when we would watch porn, not together, but this polished with sound, music, it was scored with proper music, the wow, wow, chicka, wow, wow, all that shit. And, it was all like these plasticky Hollywood assholes like in a mansion in the hills. You don't watch that anymore. It's like you want to see.
God, no.
He doesn't watch porn anymore. That's baffling to me, but.
But I mean, even when I was watching it 8 months ago.
You want to watch some random couple go into the woods and just bang. That's way more interesting to you than some fucking Hollywood set.
Yeah,
right?
Fuck. That old kind of porn style from the 80s and maybe even into the 90s is so over to me if I was going to be watching porn. I do not want it like that.
Yeah,
I wish it was more and more. When I was looking for porn, I was looking at the end, like when I was looking at it. I mean, I was looking for as close as I could get to homemade porn as I thought was legitimate. Like,
yeah, isn't that kind of what the podcast is versus like a studio where you're all proper clothing or whatever, and the room's perfect and settled. It's like, there's going to be a gust of wind that comes through. It drove Jay nuts. Like he'd be like, can we wait till Max is done mowing the fucking lawn before we start? I'm like, no, we can't. I love having the fucking
part of the fun
in the background. It's like, dude, those are out of our control. Whatever. Those are the elements of doing a podcast. Who gives a shit? Windows left open. And, I think that's fun. And people kind of get to, I guarantee people are looking in the background for a jet skier going by, E.
I know.
I am. I love the water.
Yeah, people are squinting, going, "What's in the background at Travis's house?" Okay, I see the Les Paul. What are those pictures of?
One thing I've really learned during this period. One thing I've really learned during this period is I think I want to live on the lake. So I need to start stepping up my daily income.
Travis and I both bust out laughing at the same time, like, "Wow, there's an original thought. Who would want to live on a lake?"
Step 1, set goal. Got that one done.
I mean, every goal starts with a one step, Travis. So, I mean, I've set the goal now. So,
yep, your goal is to live on a lake. Good luck with that, E. Let me know when you get close. Yeah, okay. I wanted to do that too. It gets a little pricey. So, but hey, it's there now. So you got something to shoot for.
I'm gonna when I'm done with this, I'm just gonna be so much like I'm so used to, dude. I walk out here 10 times a day and just stare, and there's birds flying, and I look at the water, and I do it at night even, and I'm gonna hate that when I have to go back. Hate it.
Yeah,
I don't want
FaceTime. We can FaceTime me. We'll get that pontoon going for you. I'll walk you through it.
Let's keep coronavirus going. I don't need it to end.
Dude, I have a lot of people that are saying that. Like, I'm like, hey, how you surviving this coronavirus? I'm talking to T-Roy. He's like, yo, man, they could extend this shit till September. It's like, 'cause a lot of people are enjoying just like, yeah, man, I can take it. Like, it would suck to live in Manhattan and be in a 200 square foot apartment.
Yeah.
That would blow. But if you've got a house and a pool or a house and a lake and, you got Travis's yacht, it's like, whatever. Extend this for a while, a little vacation time, no big deal.
Nice bit. Like, dude, if you're living in a neighborhood, even like when I went to my sister's last night, we went on an evening walk and, dude, you go on my sister says she goes on walks on lunch now because she works from home. So she just goes on walks instead of, all that shit.
Yeah, yesterday we were talking about doing a show yesterday, and we didn't end up doing it, or 2 days ago, whatever it was. And so we went up to Jerome, Arizona. I think it's Jerome. Just like a ghost town, man. Just, and I mean like an old ghost town that's like artsy and antique-y with bars and restaurants, but no McDonald's or Taco Bell. They're all like indigenous to the area. And just, it looks like, it reminds me of being in Northern California or even Southern, like winding through the mountains with houses on cliffs and shit, all that kind of stuff. Some of them run down, but it's like a veritable ghost town now because no one's out really. And it's creeping me out. But There's something about it
Right.
though. Like you need that water. When I see those layouts in a subdivision like that, it's like up north. Well, you know how the neighborhoods up north are all like winding and stuff, and
Right.
it's like it's playing to the layout of a lake, you know. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like
instead of a grid.
yes, instead of a grid, it's the layout of the mountain or the lake or whatever. You need that water on one side. You just do it. Like you drove me down. I was like, God, there's just rock and boulder on either side. Like, yeah, it's a cool view, but it's not the same as Jesus looking out at that anal.
Lisa
No,
Marie
and then like the
says.
walks. Oh,
Sorry,
sorry.
Lisa Marie says she has a good idea. She says you need to get Kennedy's a kitten before they get home, so you have job
I know.
security for 20 years.
I know. Dude,
That's a
thank
great
God
idea.
they're one.
Tell me, just have
I know.
one when they.
Honestly, yeah, new cat. Oh, I got you a new cat. Crazy.
Is the cat
yeah, dude.
watching a boy or a girl?
Boy,
Oh shit!
he's
I was
around
gonna
here
say, if
somewhere.
you go,
It's gonna be a
I don't
tough
know
one.
what happened, man. It just had a kitten. Because I had a cat once,
Right.
one kitten. Lily,
Huh.
one kitten, a Siamese cat, which is weird. It was a tiger stripe cat, and it gave birth on our couch to one Siamese cat, big blue eyes. It was crazy. So yeah, you could do that.
I don't think that will work here
Why?
because he's a boy cat, so I have to just get a cat. That means I have
Yeah,
to just
yeah,
tell them as a present I gave him a brand new cat.
Can't you say, I don't know, man, this dude found a friend out there, brought it home one day, and it won't leave. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, that's not bad.
Because Lisa Marie has a very valid
The cat's-
point, dude. That cat's going to die sooner than later, and then you're out of a gig.
I know. The problem is, I think, unfortunately, the Kennedys are a little older at this point. Like, I think that if it weren't for the fact that, luckily, they have a son that has grandchildren here, because I think if it weren't for that grandchild, I think they'd be out of this big house in Michigan at this point. I think they'd either be in Florida or some other. So I'm just lucky that that connection's there as it is. So.
Do they call you and check in with you?
Not really. Like, I have literally no communication as far as when I'm leaving. Like, all that's happened is they ran out of some. She shipped up some new wet food for the cat because she thought he might be running out. And then he, of course, cats. He hated whatever the kind she got. He hated. He wouldn't eat it. He'd eat the dry stuff, but he wouldn't. And he is a brat, so he'll just meow, meow, meow. Doesn't understand that the food isn't there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so finally, I got some new food shipped. She shipped some new Fancy Feast that he likes.
Oh, they
But
love
like, I have no time frame for when I'm leaving.
They're shipping you food. You can't just go buy some Fancy Feast for the cat.
Well, I mean, why should I have to pay for it?
Well, they reimburse you then. I mean, they're letting you stay at a
I don't
seven
want to go.
house on the lake, dude. I mean, you can
I
spring.
don't want to go to the store.
But are they sending you groceries too?
Well, I'm kind of lucky there because my mom's just buying a bunch of groceries, and so I go home like twice a week, and I just load up on groceries.
See, Travis,
I-
I thought he was kind of playing adult, but he's not. He's just playing like a way at college
Like,
kid.
He's doing the fun part.
Yeah, I mean, he's living on his
Back in the
own.
lake.
He's at summer camp is what he is. He's at summer camp away from his folks, but they're still sending him money for food and everything else. Oh,
I mean, dude, people
check.
and people can sit there and say, by the way, if they want to sit there and be like, how can you let your mom be going to the grocery store under these circumstances and these times that we're in?
You have
She
to.
would be-
Essential.
She would be doing it anyway, though. So, no, but I'm saying, like, I could be going and getting it instead of just saying. But my mom would be going and getting food, whether I told her to or not. So I might as well just avoid the mire myself and get.
Is she getting you stuff like toilet paper too?
Oh, dude, she wasn't one of these people that was on a nutso, but she stocked up in early March. She started buying stuff, and so
Yeah.
I'm basically good.
So did my brother. He bought a pallet of water. It's like,
Yeah, I think you showed that one of your videos. That's insane.
Yeah. Dude, we have a wall, 56 cases of water. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, and they.
Yeah,
toilet
I mean,
paper find up- and we're constantly grocery shopping online because there's like a Fry's here, which I think is Kroger, I believe. Maybe Kroger owns Fry's, or Fry's owns Kroger. One of the things. I think that's it. But there's like 3 different chains out here in it right where we're at that all deliver. So we can have like 3 orders in a day, all from different ones. Like getting.
Why do you need more though? Like, why is he still getting more if he has a whole garage full?
Well, he's got the garage
going
through water.
Okay.
So there's a pallet of water, but then it's like, they're so paranoid here. The warden and G are so paranoid. Like, it's becoming an issue because I'm like, fuck this. I'm going to a drive-through. Leave me alone. And they're like, but then they don't want me to do that because I could bring shit back to the house. Coronavirus.
Yeah.
So we're in this standstill because they're extreme, like, oh my God, lock everything down. And I'm like, whatever. At this point, I'd rather get it and roll the dice and just be like, dude, it sucks for a couple weeks. Get on with life.
Your brother, by the way, no offense, and I've said this to my mom, like, even now, like, I understand that you have to have enough, but dude, there is a level where, like, you can't just keep buying everything. Other people legitimately aren't just sitting there with a pallet of water. You know what I mean? Like, there needs to be a level of you get what you actually need so that other people can still get shit. Like,
well, you know what? I would agree with you, but it's not like he went and bought 10 pallets of water so the rest of the community can't get it. We'd been here for a while and we were buying cases of water. And then it was like,
okay,
fuck it. I can buy a pallet online and have it dropped at the garage door. Why don't we just do that? It's like, all right. And so we did. We were shocked. Toilet paper you can't buy like that. Like, we ordered toilet paper a month ago and then never heard anything or saw anything. And then all of a sudden, a shitty batch of toilet paper showed up. It was like, yeah, you use that stuff. One-ply garbage, whatever that is. So I don't know. But I haven't been to the store in 4 weeks. I don't know if it's still an issue. Like, I would assume that things have replenished, that you can go get Lysol now and you can go get toilet.
I'm hearing Lysol might be coming a little scarcer pretty soon here because they don't have the material.
You couldn't get it out west anywhere, nowhere, for weeks.
You don't have the material. Yeah, the materials, like the stuff I think that they make it, I think unfortunately comes from like China or overseas. Right, and so I'm not sure, but I've heard that Lysol and stuff is going to start to be an issue, maybe until July or something. I could be wrong. It's Lysol and that stuff.
Are you guys using?
And it's hard to using what?
Purell.
No, for one, I already know what you said that Deuce said about it, but I'm not, because again, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going into stores basically, so I'm basically, I mean, I still wash my hands at home probably more than I should, considering I'm basically not going out. But
I don't understand the wash the hands thing if you're not leaving the house. Like, people keep saying that to me, Beth, Derek. Well, make sure you wash your hands 6 times a day. I'm like, why? I didn't go anywhere.
I guess I still have the feeling that maybe, I mean, I still have boxes of food. Where did it come from? I don't know what I don't know. I better safe than sorry, I guess. Why? Yeah. I had pizza for the first time yesterday. In 7 weeks. Yeah, my sister ordered to-go pizza. I have purposely not been ordering to-go food because I don't even know. I don't understand. I have not gotten a direct answer, in my opinion, how safe it is to get like a pizza. I don't know.
Well,
and so I haven't done it.
And Travis might be able to answer this more. He and his wife probably know more about this than we do. But, I keep doing that too. And the problem is there's not a cut and dry yes-no answer for any of these questions. So
I know.
Is it safe to order a pizza, carry out, have it delivered to your house? By and large, and I mean by and large, absolutely yes. It's not a foodborne illness. It's not hanging around for weeks on your pizza box.
Correct.
By and large, you're fine. But is there a tiny fraction? Is there a small percentage chance? And so why take risk, necessary risk? You don't need to. And it's hard to argue with that. Like, okay, if there's a 1% chance or a 0.5% chance, we got food to eat here. Why don't we just eat that? Instead it's like, well, fuck, because I want to carry out pizza. That's why.
I know, dude. Yeah.
But what are you guys doing, Trav? Are you guys? I know you eat weird.
Yeah,
so
we're weirdos.
Are you guys getting carry bird food, or are you guys getting bird seed that you make at home, or you?
We tend to get a lot of our stuff delivered anyway. She'll get fresh produce from the grocery store still. And so really nothing has literally changed for us as far as diet goes. I don't eat out that much these days anymore either. Although I am craving I'm craving a couple of the local stops that we have in the Plymouth area. So
What?
well, they're a Mexican joint in Plymouth that we really like, Barrio. So that's one of my favorites. And then she likes a vegan restaurant up in where's that at? Farmington, called Chive Kitchen. So
I've been to Chive Kitchen. That place is good.
Super expensive, but it's great. And I mean they all do carry out. So I suppose if I wanted it that bad, we could figure it out. But I think the odds are super low, super low of getting some sort of, first of all, the workers have to have it and they have to communicate it to the box or the food or whatever, and then you have to ingest it. I mean, the odds of you getting it from that whole transaction are so slim, but you're also not going to convince people that believe that they will. So you do you. Yeah. That's my mantra the last few months.
What's that, E?
This is kind of off the subject, but it's on the subject. You know, a question that I've been wondering is like, and I don't watch news 10 hours a day. I watch a little bit here and there. You scroll on Facebook, you can't fucking avoid missing 20 articles every time about, and 10 of them are how the world's ending, 10 of them are how it's not, it's a lie, all this isn't even happening. But like, why am I not seeing, I feel like, way more deaths from people working at Meijer, Walmart, Kroger? Like, I mean, yes, you see, two people in Kroger and Commerce got it or something, but I don't feel like for people that are working in the most populated situation you can be right now, which is a grocery store, how come I'm not seeing like every day 20 new deaths from, grocery store workers?
That's the argument, is how effective is this lockdown really? And there are studies, and I know it sucks even talking about it because I know there are people going to go, bullshit, exact opposite is true. And it depends who you're watching and what you're reading. But you're getting that's what's so frustrating about this, because unfortunately, and Derek explained all this to me, that there is no right or wrong answer for should you wear a mask. He says they're virtually worthless for the most part, the masks, but there are instances where they can be beneficial. So it's yes, no. Is Purell or any of these things, or ordering takeout food or getting a pizza delivered, to Travis's point, Ding, if somebody wants to believe that this is the apocalypse, they're going to take that. You're getting it. But there are studies that say there is virtually zero difference from areas that are on complete lockdown versus areas that are completely not on lockdown. Where you're not seeing an increase in deaths, you're not seeing an increase in
or they're practicing social distancing, right? So restaurants are half capacity, that kind of thing. I think Sweden, and it seems to be.
They never locked down. They
just went to distancing. Yeah.
And it's worked for them. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Travis.
No, you got it. That's it. That's where I was going. Yep.
Yeah, but their numbers they're not like, holy shit. But then you see, like, my brother was saying it, I think Atlanta opened up more and then immediately had a spike in new cases. So I'm sure
there will be a spike in new cases as we open up. There will be a spike in new cases. What I hope, and I know this won't happen, is that cooler heads will prevail, right? And we'll be ready for that little spike, and we'll understand why that's happening, and we'll move on with our lives. Unfortunately, what will happen is we'll see the spike, everyone will freak out, and we'll either collapse again, or at the very least, we're going to be pointing fingers at each other. So get ready to be more annoyed.
G is convinced that we're going to, go through stage 1, stage 2. There's like 4 stages to opening things back up. The 4th stage being, going to concerts and bars. That's like the last thing to fully open up. And he's convinced we're going to get to a point of opening things up. And then come October, November, December, it's going to kick right back up. And then we're going to go on lockdown again. And it could just be a vicious cycle. And to me, I'm just like, what are we doing? Just runs roughshod through us. Just you know what? We're going to lose some fucking people. That's going to happen. It's going to be, and I'm probably at more of a risk than Isis is or Travis is. But I feel like, you know what? I've put my body through a lot, and it's fucking, here we are. I feel like I'm stronger now than I was 2 months ago.
I was say better than a couple of years.
Dude, bring it on. Bring it on, CV. Let's go. I'm willing to take that fight, and it sucks for a couple of weeks, but it's the constant conversation and the constant oh my God, I touched a rail. Do I need to fucking wash my hands 10 times? Or now I'm getting into an argument with family here. And my family's not helping because I don't know if you guys are dealing with this, and then I'll let you speak there, E. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
Constantly sending each other fucking stories in a goddamn group text. These group texts need to suck dicks and fuck off. Group texts, I cannot stand. It's like 99% of it, I don't have any interest in. None.
You can leave them.
I don't care about your fucking memes. I don't know how to leave them. I can't quit them.
So on top.
Is it?
Yeah.
Show me how on my iPhone 10 because
Will do.
I want out of all of them. I don't care what it is. And these are family related. I actually care about these people. And I don't give a fuck about what story you saw on CNN or the New York Times or Fox News that you're sending me because tomorrow I'm going to read the exact opposite. I'm sick. And it's like, dude, from the minute I get up to the minute I go to bed, I'm inundated with articles. They're just ginning each other up. And I'm like, I don't buy any of it. I don't buy any of it. I'm not terribly scared. I
Keep
look
questioning, Mike.
and I'm not terribly scared about it. I just don't think it's gonna the big bad monster. I'm more worried about the future is what I'm worried about.
Oh yeah, we're writing. I hate the saying, but we're writing checks that our grandkids, if you choose to have them, are going to have to pay for, literally.
Well, I look at what we're doing here, and it's like, okay, nobody's gonna fire us. I mean, I'm not going to fire me or you guys, and vice versa. We don't work for a company, corporation. Now, obviously, Trav, you have a real job that you do, but for E and I, we're not. And then I play it out a little longer. It's like, well, if Ford consolidates with, Volkswagen or something, and they're not able to sell shit, and people aren't able to go back to work, well, Zot Ford can't advertise with us. And if Twin Peaks can't fucking sell food and drink and have people in their establishment, the first thing that's going to get cut is their marketing and advertising.
Yeah. I mean, Mike, you can probably tell us better. And this is just an assumption on my part, but you see all these stupid ads that we've all made fun of, and actually Newberg has a funny bit about it too. But all these ads about we're in it together and all this crap, they basically stopped pushing their products because you can't buy them. So GM, Ford, all those people, and I assume what that is, and you can tell us, I assume what that is they prepaid this time slot. They have to do something with it. They can't get a refund on it. And so this is how they're I don't know. But
yeah, that could be part of it. Depends what kind of deal they signed. If it's usually they'll they won't charge you for stuff that can't run. So if they're changed to the format that you've bought into, like if you buy a 6-month ad package on the Drew and Mike show and then Drew goes off for a year, like you have every right to go, bullshit. That's not the show I paid for. And they'll either lower the rates or redo the deal. So you're probably right, some of that, but I think a lot of these are just public relations. Keep your name out there, blah, blah, blah. But, I was talking to Chris and Michelle. God, is she fucking hot? Oh, my God. Watching them do videos, her in a bikini, doing, their Meatloaf songs and stuff. Oh, my God.
So they were on last night again.
Were they? Well, I FaceTimed Chris, and he was in a meeting, and so I FaceTimed with Michelle, and then Chris joined us, and he was cracking me up, man, talking about all that. He's like, if I watch one more commercial with this soft piano and he's like, I'm waiting for this tearjerker moment. It's like, here at Kit Kat, we care. He's like, oh, fuck you, Kit Kat. Oh, I don't, stop it. And I feel the same way. It's like, okay, it's amazing how quick these people have shifted gears, and overnight they've got a full ad campaign out there. Like, here at Kit Kat, we practice the safest of measures to ensure your safety. We're in this together. It's like, fuck off, Kit Kat. You want me to buy your wafer-covered chocolate shit or chocolate-covered wafers.
And we're not in this together.
We are so not in this together. I know what you're doing, Kit Kat. Stop it. Isis, am I keeping you awake? Are we keeping you awake?
No, I'm sorry, dude. Dude, I just didn't get a lot of sleep last night. That's all.
What were you doing?
Lynette? Onion.
Hey?
No, I told you I was at my sister's. We did a bonfire till like 2 a.m. So, and then how I am, I can't sleep in. So I woke up. I went to bed at 2. Woke up at like 6:45, and I can't go back to sleep. And like right now is probably when I would have taken my nap or something.
Yeah. What time is it there? What'd you say? It's like 5:30.
5:30.
5:30. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't be napping now, but that's just what happened. I got very little sleep last night because I can't sleep in. So even if I stay up that late.
Well, I hate to talk too much politics. Unfortunately, politics has taken a big role in this. I'm sure, Travis, you saw the pilot who wrote "F you" in the sky.
No, did he?
I didn't see that.
Did he do it on the whole flight radar thing where it comes up on the app, or?
Yes.
Funny.
Yeah.
I'll have to Google that.
He's a Michigan pilot, and he's all pissed off at Gretchen Whitmer. And so Ed Frederick's his name. He spent an hour up in the sky crafting a message. And you can pull up a picture. I don't know if we can show pictures, Trav, at all. But
That's super easy. Yeah, sorry,
don't
folks.
worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I'm looking it up myself real quick. I want to find it.
It's pretty damn good. But it was yesterday morning. She extended this the stay-at-home orders through May 28th. I thought that was going to be, what were you guys supposed to be, the 15th or something? Anyway, extended through the 28th. So he spends an hour up there carving this message out, and it's not the Trail of Smoke one. It's the one so that on the radar do I have that right, Trav?
Yeah. Well, so they have transponders that constantly talk back about where the aircraft's at, and know it's for lots of things, traffic separation, all kinds of stuff. But what a lot of these pilots are doing is they know that people have those apps so you can see the flight path or flight track. Yeah. And so they're doing these. I just brought it up. It's over Grand Rapids. It's hilarious.
Yeah. He wrote a giant FU with an arrow pointing towards the governor's mansion. And then he talked to the New York Post, and some of the things he said, there are 82 counties in Michigan, but really only 4 need to be locked down. He claimed that only areas surrounding Detroit should continue to remain on lockdown, given that's where the majority of the coronavirus cases are clustered. Whitmer says this is for the safety of Michigan, but I think it's for the safety of her keeping her votes, because the Southeast is highly Democratic. He, of course, owns a small business in the Grand Rapids area, and he's pissed that he's got to keep shut for a month.
Yeah.
My question to him is, what the fuck are they going to do if you just open your business? Just ignore them. Fucking, if you're listening, Ed, just ignore the governor when she says, all businesses must remain locked. Just open your fucking business. I guarantee the local authorities are not going to come arrest you. And you'd have a giant court case anyways. You know what I mean? Like, you just, these senators especially, that are making these grand declarations and getting all this FaceTime and all this press, they just don't have the authority to shut this shit down like they're trying to do. Oh, there's a picture. Is it?
Yeah, I can't. I'm trying to get it on air. I can't do it, but at least you can see it. Yeah,
it's funny. That must have taken a lot of time, man.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure that out.
Said an hour. And I'm not sure he wasn't drawing a dick there, by the way.
That's what it looks like, totally.
Doesn't it? But we know how these, it's not a senator who comes up with a law and has the right to then put it in place. And they don't come up with laws. That's what the legislative branches do. So you got, the House and Congress, and they come up with a bill, and then it goes to the Senate, and it goes through subcommittees and committees, and it's debated for a long time, and it's changed, and then they come up with something, and they vote on it, and then they send that bill to the president to be signed into law. And at that point, you could be breaking the law. But to have someone just go, as order of King Governor Whitmer, you can't fucking go to your neighbor's house anymore. Suck a dick. What are you going to do? And so I think we're going to see a lot of cases, because there are people that have been ticketed. A lot of the beaches closed in California. They're all pissed off there about that. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But I can't imagine the Constitution isn't going to hold up in the long run. And you're right to
you would hope.
Yeah, I mean, this is unprecedented ground we're in. But I think, those people have a right to assemble if they want, and religions are bitching. They want to, I don't know. I
will say the assembly, they've made themselves look like dumbasses.
Yeah, dude.
Jesus, guys.
Why do you need to bring the rebel flag? Why do you need? Honestly, why do you even need Trump flags when you're there? Why can't the signs just say, free the state or whatever? You know what I mean? But
that was an eye roller. I'm glad that they assembled. I just wish they would have assembled better.
It's the same thing, dude. It's the same thing. You see it, and it's like, hey, they're having an assembly. They're showing their disdain. They don't think this is fair. They think this is politics based, not based on data or science. the numbers don't weigh out. And so there's an argument there. But guys, your argument loses so much steam when you show up with Confederate flags, militia style, you know, with assault rifles.
Right.
I know assault rifle's not a thing. It's just a fucking rifle. I get it. That looks like a war weapon. But, you know, you don't need to be strapped at the Capitol and go in and barge through and wearing scary masks and waving Trump flags. It just makes people write you off. It just does. Because those groups tend to peacefully assemble. They don't tend to be a problem. And I don't think there was really any problems. There were some, because it wasn't just in Michigan, where this was going on in Southern California and Massachusetts and Chicago and lots of places where people were protesting. And I think there were some arrests in some places. But for the most part, it's like the Tea Party. They're not going to cause a riot. You know, they're going to go and they're going to fucking, you know, make their voices heard, whatever. They're right to do it. Yep. But they're not going to block fucking main roads, and they're not going to get into a fist fight with the police. So why do you need the assault rifles? Why do you need the scary outfits and the Trump signs? The Trump signs, dude. I'm driving through like the mountains, like 12 miles of mountain climbing into Jerome yesterday, and I'm looking up at these houses on the cliff, and they've got like Trump in a banner. They've got shit bitching about their local governors, street signs, handmade. Like, it's so fucking right wing here. Like, and then there's some like, stay home for the health of all of us. But they're like handwritten signs. They get people's lawns. I'm like, who is this for?
Yeah, exactly.
These people. Yeah. So
Dude, don't you think like, well, couldn't you imagine? I know that it's hard to get a big group of people that are strangers essentially to all do the same thing, but they all got to the point where the message was, hey, we're going to this place. Why would you not think in your head how much better the message would be portrayed if we all, I mean, you don't have to be in a suit and tie, but if you all wore kind of nice clothing, just went into the freaking, you know, the Capitol and did it in a way that was like why would you think that wouldn't look better or play better in the national media where they said, hey, okay, yeah, they don't like what's going on, but they did it very respectfully. Like you said, wearing these masks and stuff. What are you doing?
And they're the same people that are going to bitch out the ass about Black Lives Matter, taking the streets with, you know,
right.
What are the masks they were all wearing? The anonymous ones and
right.
You know, all that. And it's like, look, guys, does the saying you catch more bees with more flies with shit, whatever the damn saying is, you know what it is, and it's like if you know that the Confederate flag is going to just take half the people and just go, fuck you, redneck piece of shit.
It's not more than half, by the way. Yeah. Confederate flag. I mean,
right, but you've got one half that already is on your side for the most part. I'm on your side, guys. I'm not going to be traipsing around with a fucking Confederate flag. I'm not going to be wearing a Trump hat anytime soon. You know, to me, it's not worth the fight. And to some people, it absolutely is. To some people, that's the point. But to
why
me,
not
it's
do
like
everything
you're trying to gain support, and you need people on the other side to have that support. You have a valid argument. And I'm not saying you need to dress up in khakis and look like Joe Citizen. A lot of these guys are bikers and they want to wear their leather. Fine, I'm all for it. Do you? But when you look like an armed militia, you have every right to do it legally. There are legal carry permits that these guys have. They're not shooting anybody. They're not pointing their guns at anybody. But it scares a lot of people, and it makes it very easy to shut down your argument and just write you off.
That's what happens for a lot of people. Yep.
Alt-right, Trump love, and blah, 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 when really a lot of you guys have small businesses you just want to fucking open the doors to. Right. Because people up north have a real bitch going, dude, don't lump us in like we're Detroit with massive amounts of people in the same area. You know, up north is different. The west coast of Michigan is different. It just is. Around here, you're in Phoenix, yeah, you got a lot of people. But when you get into Jerome and you get into Flagstaff, like some outside the big major cities, there's no reason at all that these people can't be getting back into work. And, you know, you look at all those small businesses. I think you and I were talking about it, Trav, off the air. It's like, how many of these are never going to come back?
Yep.
You're rolling through a ghost town going, this little nail salon, that little barbershop. Think about all the ones in Detroit, you know, mom and pop shoe store and barbershop. Like, dude, 50% of them never come back. I mean, what is it going to look like?
stifled a lot of. I'm sure it's stifled or is stifling a lot of growth. That we were seeing down there for sure.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yep, the smaller ones that are just barely getting by.
Well, we're not learning the lesson from and if you think you're different, like, hey, we're not violent like the left when they go and they bitch about shutting down free speech and stuff. You hate that their tactics for doing it. They hate your tactics for doing this when you storm the Capitol with military grade weaponry and scary outfits, and it's just you're
shouting matches.
What's that, dude?
Shouting matches. What do you think that picture is going to look like? Do you think anyone's going to take any context other than that?
Settle down. Stop.
That microphone can't handle. That microphone's not one of these.
Yeah. Say your point again. It won't. Like you were killing it. Settle down, poops. Got a little animal there.
Apologize.
Make your point though. Your point, I'm sure, is valid. Go ahead.
But just like, okay, what are you thinking when you're getting in a shouting match with somebody? You know what I mean? And it's like, what do you think that picture's going to look like? Do you think people are going to look at that don't believe you and go, well, yep, that's right. I'm on board now for the,
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I'm talking to people, and I just want to do the fucking face palm emoji, just like, where I want to talk to my liberal friends and get their perspective. I don't want to be talked down to. I don't want to be made to feel stupid, for having a different viewpoint. I respect other people's opinions. I can think they're wrong without calling them an asshole.
Right.
But the amount of, I've talked to some people too, and I won't name names, but where it's like so adamant that they're right about everything. And, I don't care what anyone, I'm going to say it anyways because they're too stupid to blah, blah. I'm like, lost. You've lost already. It's over. That fucking shitty attitude that everybody else that doesn't agree with me is fucking wrong. And I'm right and I know it and I'm going to force them to hear it. Fuck you. You've lost everything. You're just swimming up water. You're swimming against stream. You're not making any headway. You're not changing any minds, So unfortunately, it's been like this for a long time, and it's remarkable to me to see, okay, here's an opinion. 50% hate it, 50% love it, no matter what it is. No matter what it is. You would think something as simple as like going back to work, opening things up. Yeah, I mean, it just makes sound sense. If you don't have it running amok here, we could open this up and blah, blah, blah. And if these people want to go and risk it, they're not making you go to work. If you're at risk, I understand. I've got heart issues and stuff like that. If I feel that I'm at risk, I can avoid all you people out there doing your thing. And if you get it, good on you. But I can sit home and avoid all of you. I cannot answer the door. I'm not going to pick it up from taking a phone call. So, like if you want to go out and get it and take that risk, you can. If you want to shelter in place, you can do that too. It's when the government gets involved that but if we just get stuck politicizing fucking everything, it's just, I don't know, man. It's a lose-lose. It really.
Because you're in the middle somewhere, like a lot of people, and you just feel like you're getting yanked in both directions, or you're an asshole because you're just not picking a side, and you're not picking a team, and that's my personal feeling anyway. Yeah,
you can't win even if you're middle of the road. Just like, hey man, I see a little bit on both sides, and I do, and I don't know who you blame for it. I think it's it kind of reminds me of journalism now, where back in the day before the internet. Back in those days where you had reporters go and they would get sources and they would have multiple sources on a story, and then it would run through an editor who would proof it, and then you had people that would go and make sure, they would just proof the thing and make sure that these were actual sources that they could vet and see if there was legitimacy to their story. But then it's my phone. We get into a world where it's like, fuck it, scoop it first, TMZ, Yahoo News, just go with it, throw it out there. And so what we've ended up with is this thing where instead of letting the process play itself out, we want it now. And I'm just as guilty. I'm a want it now guy. What's the story? What's the story? What's the story? Give me the news. What happened? And it's like, well, we haven't done the the scientists are going crazy because they're like, well, we haven't finished the calculations yet on this. We haven't researched it long enough.
What do you mean you haven't finished them yet?
And they just make it up.
Fauci, just, but they're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and they come out and their story changes day to day. And so what are we left to believe? I don't know what we're left to believe, but I don't even know where I was going with it, but it's.
I can't even imagine what that must be like, by the way, right now, dude. Just 24. I mean, dude, imagine if that's what you're trying to do right now. Like, it just must be crazy. You're in some lab trying to find a quarantine or a vaccine to this thing that's killing the world. And you're just
And it's so unprecedented. Like, the country's never locked down like this. It's like, judging each other for decisions made or, government officials or the general public. It's like, you really got to give some people some fucking slack here. I mean, honestly, it's not that much different if all of a sudden an alien ship was hovering above planet Earth and we could all see it. And now we're going to our leaders going, well, the response isn't fast enough to the alien ship. What are we doing about this? And it's just hovering. It's just hovering there. Right. We don't know if it's good or bad, if it's going to fucking laser blow up the whole world. And we're yelling at leaders like, what are you doing? It's like, I don't know, man. We're figuring this out as we go. We're knocking on the door, hoping they'll answer and talk to us. I don't know. And stuck in that position.
Pretty good analogy, Mike.
Well, I try from time to time. But I'm trying to think of things that would be totally unprecedented. Where there's not a playbook. That's what precedent is. It's why, go ahead, Trev. It's why law has been set. The Supreme Court precedent is set, and they go back to Brown versus so and so, the state of Wisconsin versus Johnson, and this landmark case is the grounds that we're calling on this case. There's no precedent for a stay-at-home order for the world. Right. And so none of us know what to do. We're all reading what we want to read, and I have a feeling everybody's going to imright.com to prove their points. You can do that no matter what. And so this is where we get stuck. But I think sooner than later, and we got to wrap it up here pretty quick. I know you guys got shit going on too. Sooner than later, I think the American public is just going to go, yeah, fuck this, man. I'm done. And then we're going to have a real problem. And I'm starting to see cracks.
Dude, that is when the problem happens.
It's like, when everybody's listening and going, okay, because you have a handful of people at the top going, don't leave your house, and people are going, okay. And so they're gonna go, you know what? Yeah, I don't want to do that anymore. And then what are you gonna do? You're not gonna turn the military on them. So, and when you start to see people getting petty during stories or starting to revert back to, they're getting used to this whole thing that we're going through. And they start, the Katie Couric story. I don't know if you saw the Katie Couric story the other day. No. Twitter came down on her, and I'm like, oh, we're starting to do stories again where Twitter's coming down on someone for something they said. Yeah. Remember those days, E? Where it's like, ooh, Twitter's all right. They canceled someone. We haven't had anyone canceled really in a while because we've got other shit to worry about. But Katie Couric was given an interview on a podcast, the Everything Iconic with Danny Pellegrino show. And earlier in the week, and he was asking her about, interviews she's done over the years. And she mentioned how she felt shaken and uncomfortable during a 2004 interview that she did with Denzel Washington. He was coming out with a Manchurian Candidate. Yeah. She claimed Washington totally misconstrued her question when she asked whether Hollywood folks should stick to acting. And he takes issue with that, which is a fair question. There's enough people going, hey, man, shut the fuck up. I really don't care what actor guy thinks about world politics. Shut up. So that's a fair question to go, hey, should Hollywood people stick to acting? He takes issue with that. And then Washington refused to refer to himself as Hollywood folk and interjected Couric when she rephrased the question with, are you one of those people that? And then he says, am I one of those people? Couric attempted to rephrase the third time saying, are you an actor who would rather not? And he says, no, I'm not that either. I'm a human being. My job is acting. So you can see where this is going, where she wasn't saying you people.
My God.
She was
acting. I want to like Denzel. Come on, Denzel, stop. You're better than this.
I know, right?
I like his art.
It's not even Denzel. People are taking the issue up, and he could have been just having a shitty day. Like, you know what, fuck you. And there's some valid things like, hey, man, I'm an actor. That's my job. I'm just a human. I'm just another person. I'm an actor. But you're not just another human being. You're Denzel fucking Washington. Sorry, coming with the huge paychecks and the $20 million movie deals is that you're not a normal guy. You're worthy of being interviewed by Katie Couric. It's another one of those things where it's like, dude, just, Katie Couric's intent is not to be like you people or those people. When she says you people or those people in that instance, while trying to rephrase a question you just took issue with, she's talking about Hollywood folks, you people in Hollywood, you actors, these people. Just like,
right.
You engineers are all the same, Travis. You fucking anally retentive people. You people. I don't mean it. It's not about your race or whatever. It's about, you as an industry, you as whatever. But people come down on. So she's being asked about this, and I know exactly what that's like. I know 100% what it's like to be doing an interview, and you've been there with me. When all of a sudden it gets tense in the interview.
Right.
I'm never trying to go after someone usually. It's obvious to the audience when I'm trying to go after someone. But I can have a legitimate guest on and be asking them a question, and they take it the wrong way. And then all of a sudden you're backpedaling. No, I didn't mean it like that. And then it's just kind of off the rails and awkward. Yep. I got into it with Rude Jude at one point. That got awkward for a while. I got awkward with Scott Ian. We had a blowout with Dave Navarro on the Drew and Mike show. Got into it with Tommy Lee. We've had it out with actors. And Drew was not coming at these guys. It was just misunderstood in the moment, the way it was phrased, the way they took it, whatever. I was not going after Scott Ian in any way or Rude Jude. He was at my house. I'm doing an interview with him in person. You think I'm fucking trying to start a fight with the guy? No, I wasn't. And she's not trying to start something with Denzel, but people come to his defense. They're fans of Denzel's jump on those people and you people. They're claiming she's asserting her white privilege. Where privilege is in this? You've got two extremely privileged individuals, Denzel and Katie Couric. Those people and you people are phrases designed to use by those whom would marginalize Black Americans. Oh, come on. That's true. But in this instance, is it true in this case? Is that what Katie Couric is doing? Finding a subtle way to take a dig at Denzel Washington's race? Does anyone actually believe that? Another called Couric a privileged white woman who is trying to make herself relevant again. Oh, yeah. Katie Couric needs to become relevant again. She's had one of the most illustrious careers in media of anyone ever. She needs to make herself relevant. Someone asked her a fucking question and she answered it. Unfortunately, no one wants to hear her answer a question about Joe fucking no name. They want to hear the interesting story of Denzel Washington. Many grew irate with the fact that she said he must have been having a bad day. And then he donated a bunch of money to her. I think she lost a husband or something to colon cancer, or there was some issue. So she's got a foundation for that. And he made a considerable donation to him. People, please stop trying to make hashtag Denzel Washington out to be the angry Black man because he didn't fall for your loaded question. He's smarter than you thought and he set you straight about it. And no, he probably wasn't having a bad day, hashtag Katie Couric. Well, I don't know.
Sounds like he might have been.
Yeah, there's a mood in a room when someone comes in, whether it's Jay or Isis or a guest or me, you get that feel. And I've heard from listeners, oh, geez, I could tell Jay was in a fucked mood today when he came in, or what was off with E today, or me, if my mood is south, and you're just a little more aggressive, a little more on edge. And it's the same with, a lot of times these guys are forced by their agents and the movie companies to do these promotional things, and they're days, weeks, months long, and they get asked the same fucking questions and they're irritated. It's part of the job, but it's fucking irritating. If you come in there and you're having one of those fucking days, you're not even having a bad day, you're just irritated. And now Katie Couric's going to ask you something and you hear what you want to hear. It happens all the time. But to come down on her like she's some asshole, it just makes me think, oh, people are moving on from COVID.
Yeah, there's that. I guess we can silver lining this thing, yeah.
This just Katie Couric proves that Karens will Karen all day. Denzel made her uncomfortable because he disagreed with her in 2004. To prove that her feelings were right, she took his donation to her foundation as the apology instead of a charitable gift. She says, I don't think I did anything wrong. I don't know what happened. And she said she admires him so much, blah, blah, blah. And I believe that 100%. It's not a white versus black thing. I think white versus black doesn't even come into the picture when you're talking about Denzel Washington. I'm sorry. He's the biggest, one of the biggest actors in the world. Yeah. Safe to say, fair to say.
Yep.
I just don't, I don't know, man.
What's he done lately?
I don't know. I was watching
What's going to happen when movies, what's going to happen when, like, all these things haven't been made for a while, and then, like, is there going to be, like, a point where we just don't have new movies for, like, 6 months until they can catch up?
Yes. Yeah.
That's going to be crazy?
Well, we talked about this, I think. Maybe it was off the air, but I'm pissed. They pushed Top Gun back to December. That was supposed to be a summer one.
Yeah. They pushed back.
Had it all lined up.
They took the new Bond movie, too. The final Bond movie. They had Skyfall and Spectre, and then the new one was supposed to come out when he was on SNL. And then they pushed it back to Thanksgiving. I think they pushed that back even further. But yeah, Walking Dead season finale hasn't aired. Like, they aired 9 episodes or 10 episodes, and there's one left, the finale for the season, and they had to halt production, and so they can't finish editing properly, so that's all been shut down.
Right.
So yeah, to your question, yeah, we're gonna have definitely. Everything is shut down. There's gonna be a huge wall, and they're already fighting. The movie industry is like, all these movies that were supposed to come out. It's like, we'll just charge $20 and let people watch it at home. But they don't.
But then that gets into why won't we just do that instead of having movie theaters?
Yeah, no, there's a good argument for that. Although I saw that in, I can't remember what township it is there in Michigan, they're opening up a drive-in.
Yeah, that's becoming a big thing.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. Like, you can social distance in your car and go to a movie. Like, there's a 9-theater drive-in out here that's still going. And it's got the little arcade section and the popcorn and all that shit. And it's got 9 different movies being played on these screens. Giant parking lot. I drove by it the other day. And it's like, hey, it would actually still work. You could go see these movies. I mean, I don't know, see that relic from the 70s come back and be cool again. But
hang the speaker in your window. Remember that?
Yeah.
Or at least tune the radio to whatever frequency.
I was going to say tune the radio to a frequency, but I remember hanging a speaker on the thing.
Dude, I had a date with a girlfriend. I was in high school, and we hung the speaker thing in the truck in the car. No, it wasn't Jennifer.
Wow, this is interesting.
Yeah, before Jennifer. Did you get this particular girl? Was she? Did you have a?
I would honestly tell you, I can't remember.
You can't.
Oh yeah, she was like a long-term girlfriend.
Relations?
Yeah, she was a long-term girlfriend. Anyway, damn it, guys. So I had the speaker hanging in the window, right? And we watched the movie, and you know me, I love everything, all my stuff I keep nice and all that, right? And so I drove away without taking the speaker out of the window, shattered the window, and like,
oh no,
glass everywhere, all over her and everything. I was so angry at myself. So
I'd laugh at you, but I did that at Ray's gas station not too long ago. Remember that, when I drove off? I went in and talked to him for like 20 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it was. Forgot that I had the gas pumping outside.
I was worried to do that.
With the handle still in there, I was like, who is the idiot that does that?
How hard you get?
Oh, I as soon as it fucking
okay. Like driving down the road,
my gas tank, I was like, oh shit, and I'm like sitting by the window, and Ray's just like, really, motherfucker, really? I'm like, sorry, bro.
Dude, another thing, by the way, that's happening. I think I don't think in the U.S. yet, but they're doing pop-up drive-in raves are gonna start coming.
Really?
Yeah, where they're doing like a DJ sitting up somewhere and people are just parked in their cars
Yeah.
And they kind of have the light show going, shit like that.
I know they're
Check
doing
that
that
out.
with church services too, where people pull up in their cars and they honk for amen and shit. They just sit in their
Like
cars.
the Ozarks, where they do
And
the
the
church
Lord
service.
said, honk.
Water.
Yeah, in the water. Yeah.
What's that? What's that?
And the Lord said, honk twice. And
Yeah. No, it just looks weird. You got some asshole in his suit out there on his soapbox with his microphone, and then just like 100 cars in the parking lot with, you know, in their Sunday best, just sitting there in their cars listening to this dude. It's like, this could so be done online. Just log into God.com
They are.
and
Yeah,
you guys all watch
right.
the fucking service, you know? But
that could be done online, but not a rave, man. You're gonna sit there and they're gonna have. I gotta look and see if I found it, but I saw one I thought today that said a rave happened over in Europe somewhere, and they legit had fireworks shooting off, but everyone was just in their cars.
crazy. Would you go to one of those?
Hell yes, hell yes.
I was when we were driving home from Jerome yesterday. We passed a place where they had one of those inflatable screens, you know,
Yeah.
those screens, and cars were starting to park, and they were just, you know, going to pull up like it was a makeshift drive-in theater, and they had speakers set up. They were obviously just going to blast the sound.
Right.
So people are making do, I guess, with some of this stuff. But anyway,
Yeah.
I
we should
mean,
probably wrap it
you
up.
can only do it for so long in reality, but
Yeah. What do you got? You got a barbecue going on tonight, Trav? A little bonfire?
Just do bonfire. Yeah, we did one last. I'm always out in the patio if it's nice out. So
Yeah.
that's the plan.
It sounds good, man. I know it's thankfully the weather's turning. We got a couple of emails. You can email us at walters@detroitcast.com, email@detroitcast.com, Eric with a C at detroitcast.com, even Travis at detroitcast.com. We'll all get those emails and read a
Got
couple.
my first email.
Did you?
Yeah.
If it's worth reading, you're more than
No.
welcome to read it.
No, it's from our pilot Tom, just saying get studying.
oh,
Yeah.
dude, that motherfucker. You know what's funny about that, man? I don't know if I mentioned it, but I bought a ticket 6 weeks ago. Did I mention that last time already? Or no? Okay, never
For
mind.
Vegas?
Well,
Yeah.
he hit me up and he's like, "Did you end up going or not?" And he's like, "I'm like, nah." Oh, because we talked about whether the flight would be busy or not.
Yeah.
And he told me that he looked at and he looked at it and he looked it up and he said the flight looked pretty full. Now that doesn't mean everyone showed up or not, but
Wow.
he said the flight was basically booked. I'm like, ooh, I'm glad I didn't fucking go.
Yeah. Well, wear your mask, your gloves.
Right.
You'll be fine. You'll be.
But if you're going to Vegas and the strip's closed, there's no point.
Travis, what do you? I don't remember what we settled on that, but like if I have a plane trip end of May, would you fly end of May to like Denver and from Denver to Helena, Montana?
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
not ever. I'm not
yeah.
most people. Yeah, I would totally fly.
I would totally
Yeah, I'm
fly.
super bummed. I'm super bummed. We'll get into it another time. But I mean, the way the
All
air
right.
travel is changing now, and
Yeah.
like, how are we going to get our drinks in first class anymore? That sucks because you got to wear a mask now, right? So yeah, we'll get
They're
into
not
another day.
serving
But
drinks and stuff, right? They're not
Well,
serving
we
drinks
fuck-
and stuff, right? You just get on and that.
I think that's what I heard. Yeah.
Oh, that's bullshit. Then we should be able to bring our own drinks on.
Trust me, the gears were gone when I started reading that. I'm like, oh shit, no, what am I
Yeah.
gonna do?
Yeah,
You know,
man,
I mean, that's
what's
a
the
really
point of first class if you can't get drinks up there?
exactly. Well, exactly.
I mean, there's
And-
other reasons to shame the people that are sitting in
Well,
coach behind you,
Definitely,
obviously.
as they walk by. That's
Yeah,
why they
as they
board
walk
you
by.
first, so you have that opportunity. Yeah.
Yes, to
But-
shame them a little bit. That's fine,
Yeah.
but the free drinks and the little meal is the other benefit.
The little meal, yeah. Can't do that with a mask on. So yeah, I mean that's one of the neat things about one things I appreciate about my job. I get a little old sometimes, but I get to travel around a bit and I get to see different countries and stuff, and that's all changing. I mean I can't see me doing that for the foreseeable future, probably
Yeah.
the rest of the year anyway. It sucks.
It's crazy, and people aren't. People need to like. I was bitching a couple weeks ago about Sean Hannity going. Yeah, I mean, we want to go to the baseball game, and I can lift my mask and take a bite of my hot dog. It's like, you fucking moron. The virus didn't get through. I saw people like hang out. There was a bar in Jerome, which obviously couldn't have people in it, but like right across the street. And this is a small town, one way, one street town, one horse, ghost town type. And it's like this rock steps, across the street, like a pavilion almost. And there's just people sitting on there drinking their beers. Like they walk into the bar, get their can of Coors Light, And then they walk outside and they're all hanging out. And there's like two couples sitting there, and the chicks have their masks on around their neck, but strapped to their ears as they're drinking their beers and talking. I'm like,
nope.
No, folks.
That's not how it works. This
is not how this works at all. No. But so many people I see it, their nose is out. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, doing my part, social distancing and wearing my mask. No, you're not, you idiot. Anyway, let's do a couple of emails and then we'll let you guys get on with your night. So one from Doug here. I'm happy you're feeling better. I'm assuming that's to me. Subject, it's good to have you guys back. You don't know what your show means to me, and I know you've heard this before, but I've never missed an episode. I wonder how many people, because a lot of people say that. I wonder how many.
I wish there was a test for that. That's the test I need. Forget these antibody tests.
Yeah. How many people say they haven't missed an episode, but really?
I want to prove it.
Yeah. It's like my life is whole again. Welcome back, Doug. Thank you, Doug. And he says, by the way, T-Roy is funny as fuck. He needs to be back on.
He will be.
Yeah, we talked about, Travis and I were talking about having T-Roy on today, but AA Ron really fucked us over. I don't know what he did, but he went in the back of our computer and just fucked things up like you guys can't believe. Really set us back a good 10 minutes or so. And so it was like, you know what? Let's deal with the T-Roy thing next time. AA Ron clearly fucking dropped the ball.
Clearly, yeah. Otherwise, you would have been here, folks. Sorry. Yeah,
we would have had Troy, funny AF Troy Courtney on today if it wasn't for AA Ron. So we'll get to that with him later. Mm-hmm. Another email from Johnny. If you read this on the air, please refer to me as Johnny. Okay. Abso-fucking-lutely. Said person is obligated to show the photos. This goes back to the warden here, Amanda, my sister-in-law, asking G and I if guys ever send nude photos of themselves to their friends because she had gotten a nude photo of her girlfriend. And I was like, well, let me see the picture. And she's, to this point, refused to show it to me, which I was asking you guys, is that fair? Or the fact that she brought it up, does she have an obligation to show me? Because she didn't have to mention it. I would have been none the wiser. And I think we all agreed, like, no, if she's going to bring it up, she should show you the picture. So Johnny writes, here's my situation. My girl has a cousin smoking hot. Before you ask, I don't have any pics of the cousin. Well, Johnny, you got to get some pics of the cousin. I'm working on it. For reference purposes, of course, LOL. They quite often send pictures of themselves nude to each other, and some of these photos are quite graphic. My woman gets her vagina waxed fairly often. Photo where it didn't happen,
Yes, I'll answer for him.
Yeah.
He must be having problems.
I didn't hear most of that.
Okay. Yeah, you're breaking up there a little bit, E. You're back, though.
Yeah, it says I got a poor connection.
Okay, well, just shut the fuck up then, and we'll wrap up. But if you could still hear me.
Yes, the pictures didn't happen, Mike. I'll answer.
Okay, thank you. The hot cousin had never gotten her vagine waxed. She always said she was too scared. Recently, she decided that she wanted to try it and asked my woman about it. Just before the COVID-19 epidemic, she decided to go ahead with it. Afterwards, she sent 3 photos of her freshly waxed vagine to my woman. You have no idea how badly I wanted to see these photos. Apparently, they're quite close up, one even including the butthole. Seeing that the cousin is super hot and is showing my woman close-up photos of her freshly waxed vagine, and the fact that my woman told me of the photos, I feel like it's her obligation to show me said photos. It's only right. Just thought I'd let you know I'm on team show the picture, Johnny. I agree, and I think, this might not be a popular opinion, but I think now that Johnny has informed us of not only his girl's nude photos and waxed vagine and the smoking hot cousin's photos of freshly waxed vagine, I think it's only fair that he show us those too, because now we're aware of those.
Kind of part of the problem at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if he truly believes what he's saying and he's not a fucking liar, which he would be, he should show us those photos now that he's addressed them. And we don't have to share them with the audience. We didn't make the declaration that he did. But did you hear any of that, E?
Yeah, I heard that part. I heard all that part. Yeah, why? Yeah, he probably does have to show them to us now, for one.
Yeah, right.
Like I said, I stand by what I said the first time. I said that you should get to look at them because it's not a family, it's not a person you see on a regular basis. But I can understand why she doesn't show, your brother, because he sees her on a regular basis, and
he's banging her, he's banging his wife, not the other girl. I'm not banging anyone in the equation, so I should absolutely be able to see these photos.
For sure.
You know, plus Johnny said that the cousin, numerous times in there, he referenced her being smoking hot. And that's one thing I'm not willing to just take his word for it. I don't know what his definition of smoking hot is. And so, you know, if we're gonna judge him, I want to see what he's judging to be smoking hot. You know what I mean? So there's a few things Johnny's gonna have to take care of. I think he owes us at this point.
We'll look for that email.
Yeah. So heads up on that. And I guess with that, thank you, Johnny, for emailing in. The rest of you email in. I promise we'll read them at least, and we'll read more and more of them on the air if you guys send them to us. Walters@DetroitCast.com, email at DetroitCast.com, Eric at DetroitCast.com, Travis at DetroitCast.com. And why don't we call it there? Thank you guys so much. Thanks to Jennifer Bully for letting us steal Travis for a couple hours. Certainly appreciate that. And Isis, enjoy the rest of your day. Have fun with your bonfire tonight, Trav, and we'll kick back on here in a couple days. Sound good?
Sounds good. Yeah. Look forward to it.
All right, guys. Thanks for everything. Thanks for listening, everybody. Please use the Amazon link and go check out Mike Lindell and MyPillow. The book is phenomenal. Half off virtually everything. Just use the TDC code to get the discount. And with that, we'll say goodbye for the day. We'll see you guys soon. Let me know when we're clear, Trev.